agent that typically consists of a nucleic acid molecule in a protein coat. It is too small to be seen by the light microscopy and is able to multiply only within the living cells of a host. Otherwise, it uses the host synthesizing machinery. Virus consists of 2 or 3 parts. The genes that is made up of either DNA or RNA. They are long molecules that carry genetic information. The protein coat that protects the genes, and in some viruses an envelope fat is also present. Viruses vary in shape from the simple helical and icosahedral to more complex structures. Viruses range in size from 20 to 300 nanometers. It would take 30,000 to 750,000 of them side by side to stretch to 1 centimeter. Viruses spread in many ways. Just as many viruses are very specific as to which host species or tissues they attack. Plant viruses are often spread from plant to plant by insect and other organisms known as vectors. Some viruses of animals, including humans, are spread by exposure to infected bodily fluids. Viruses such as influenza are spread through the air by droplets of moisture when people cough or sneeze. Viruses such as norovirus are transmitted by the fecal-oral route, which involves the contamination of hands, food, and water. The HIV virus is transmitted by bodily fluid transfer during sex, and dengue virus are spread by blood-sucking insect. Rotavirus is often spread by direct contact with infected children. Antibiotics have no effect on viruses, but antiviral drugs have been developed to treat the life-threatening infections. Vaccines that produce lifelong immunity can prevent some viral infections. Let's see some of the experiments that lead to the discovery of virus. In 1884, the French microbiologist Charles Chamberlain invented a filter known today as the Chamberlain filter or Chamberlain-Pasteur filter that has pores smaller than bacteria. Thus, he could pass a solution containing bacteria through the filter and completely remove them from the solution. In the early 1890s, the Russian biologist Dmitry Ivanovsky used this filter to study what became known as the tobacco mosaic virus. His experiments showed that extract from the crushed leaves of infected tobacco plants remain infectious after filtration. In 1899, the Dutch microbiologist Martinus Beijering observed that the agent multiplied only in dividing cells. Having failed to demonstrate its particulate nature, he called it a contagium media fluidum, a soluble, living germ. In the early 20th century, the English bacteriologist Frederick Twort discovered viruses that infect bacteria. With the invention of the electron microscope in 1931 by the German engineers Ernst Ruska and Max Knoll, came the first images of viruses. The breakthrough came in 1931 when the American pathologist Ernst William Goodpasture grew influenza and several other viruses in fertilized chicken eggs. Let's see some of the characteristics of virus. They are obligate intracellular parasites of bacteria, protozoa, fungi, algae, plants, and animals. They are ultra microscopic in size, ranging from 20 nanometer and to 50 nanometer. They are not cellular in nature. The structure is very compact and economical. They do not independently fulfill the characteristics of life. They are inactive macromolecules outside the host cell and active only inside the host cells. The basic structure of the virus consists of protein shell surrounding nucleic acid core. Nucleic acid can be either DNA or RNA, but not the both. Nucleic acid can be double-stranded DNA, single-stranded DNA, or single-stranded RNA or double-stranded RNA. Molecules on virus surface impact high specificity for attachment to host cell. They multiply by taking control of the host cell's genetic material and regulating the synthesis and assembly of new viruses. They lack enzymes for most of the metabolic processes, and they also lack machinery for synthesizing their own proteins. Most RNA viruses multiply in and are released from the cytoplasm. The viral infections range from very mild to life-threatening. Here you can see the comparison of virus with a normal cell. Coming to the characteristics, the structure, it consists of DNA or RNA or capsid and core. And in the case of cell, there is cell membrane, cytoplasm. The eukaryotes also contain nucleus and organelles. The reproduction in virus is only within the host cell. In cell, it is independent cell division either sexually or asexually. The genetic code in virus can be DNA or RNA. In cell, it's DNA alone. There is no growth and development in virus. There is growth and development in cell, and the cells increase in number and they differentiate. Also, there is no use of energy and response to environment in viruses, where there is use of energy and there is response to environment in the case of cell. Viruses have no nucleus, no organelles, no cytoplasm or no cell membrane. They are non-cellular. The virion size range is about 10 to 400 nanometer. All virions contain a nucleocapsid which is composed of nucleic acid, that is either DNA or RNA, and a protein termed as capsid. Some viruses consist only of a nucleocapsid, others have additional components. The capsid and the nucleic acid together are called the nucleocapsid. Virion. Fully formed virus that is able to establish an infection in a host cell is termed as virion. The capsid is composed of small structural units called capsomers. The capsid protects nucleic acid from inactivation by the outer physical conditions. Some viruses have additional lipoprotein envelope that is composed of virally coded protein and host lipid. The viral envelope is covered with glycoprotein spikes. Viroids are single-stranded RNA genome and the smallest known pathogens. They usually affect plants. Prions are the infectious particles that are entirely protein and there is no nucleic acid present. They are highly heat resistant and they cause animal disease that affects nervous tissue and results in bovine spongiform encephalitis, that is the mad cow disease, scurvy in sheep, and Kuru and Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease in humans. The virions may be enveloped or non-enveloped, that is naked. The envelope or outer covering of viruses is derived from the host cell membrane when the progeny virus is released by budding. The envelope is lipoprotein in nature. The virion consists of essentially of a nucleic acid surrounded by a protein coat called the capsid, and the capsid with the enclosed nucleic acid is known as the nucleocapsid. The function of the capsid is to protect the nucleic acid from inactivation by other agents in the environment. The capsid is composed of a large number of capsomers which form its morphological units. The viruses are divided into three groups based on the morphology of the nucleocapsid and the arrangement of capsomers. The first one is the cubical symmetry or the icosahedral symmetry. Here the virus particle is icosahedral in shape, that is almost spherical particle, and the nucleic acid contained inside the capsid. The icosahedron particles is composed of 20 equilateral triangles, 12 vertices, and has 2, 3, 5 rotational symmetry. Two types of capsomers constitute the icosahedral capsid. They are the pentagonal capsomers at the vertices and the hexagonal capsomers making up the facets. Next is the helical symmetry. Here the virus particle is elongated or pleomorphic, that is not spherical, and the nucleic acid is spiral. The capsomers are arranged round the nucleic acid and they are wound together to form a helical or spiral tube. The tube may be rigid as in the case of tobacco mosaic virus. Not all the viruses show the typical icosahedral or helical symmetry. Some, like the pox viruses, exhibit complex symmetry. The virions may be enveloped or non-enveloped, that is naked. The envelope or outer covering of the viruses is derived from the host cell membrane when the progeny virus is released by budding. The envelope is lipoprotein in nature. The lipid is largely of host cell origin, while the protein is virus coded. Protein subunits may be seen as projecting spikes on the surface of the envelope. These structures are called the peplomers, meaning envelope. A virus may have more than one type of peplomers. Here you can see the icosahedral capsid of the picornavirus. In this icosahedral symmetry, icosahedron is a polygon with 12 vertices or corner, and it has 20 facets or sides. Each facet is in the shape of an equilateral triangle. You can see that here. And then there are the pentagonal capsomers at the vertices, which are the pentones, and the hexagonal capsules making up the facets. And in total, there are always 12 pentones, but the number of hexons varies with the various virus group. And there are two types of DNA viruses, that is the single-stranded DNA and the double-stranded DNA. And in DNA viruses also there is a general classification of the enveloped and the non-enveloped ones. In the enveloped ones, the double-stranded genome containing viruses examples include pox viruses and herpes viruses. And in the non-enveloped DNA viruses, double-stranded genome containing viruses include the adenoviruses that consist of linear double-stranded DNA, and the papovaviruses that consist of circular double-stranded DNA, and the single-stranded genome in non-enveloped DNA viruses include, the example is parvoviruses. The RNA virus is also divided into two, the enveloped and the non-enveloped one. First, let's see the enveloped viruses examples. In enveloped virus itself, there are two types, single-stranded genome and the single-stranded genome which encodes reverse transcriptase. And the example of the one that encodes reverse transcriptase is retrovirus. And now let's see the single-stranded genome divisions, and it consists of segmented genome and non-segmented genome. The segmented genomes examples include orthomyxoviruses, buniaviruses, arenaviruses, and the non-segmented genomes examples include paramyxoviruses, rhabdoviruses, filoviruses, and the coronavirus. And the non-enveloped RNA viruses consist of single-stranded genome and double-stranded genome. The example of single-stranded genome include picornaviruses and caliciviruses, and the example of double-stranded genome include reoviruses. Let's see the functions of viral capsid. It protects nucleic acid and helps introduce the viral DNA or RNA into a suitable host cell. It stimulates the immune system to produce antibodies that can protect the host cells against future infections. Let's see some examples of virus and their morphology. Ebola virus. They are filamentous enveloped RNA virus and it's approximately 90 kb in length. They are single-stranded linear and non-segmented. They are negative sense RNA. They appear to have spikes due to glycoprotein on outside membrane. Next one is the pox virus, which is brick-shaped and enveloped, and the core contains enzymes for virus uncoating double-stranded DNA. Viruses were divided into 6 groups based on their nucleic acid and mRNA production, and that classification is termed as Baltimore classification. It consists of double-stranded DNA virus, single-stranded DNA virus, double-stranded RNA virus, single-stranded RNA viruses with positive strand. Positive sense viral RNA is identical to viral mRNA and thus can be immediately translated into protein by the host cell. Then single-stranded RNA viruses with negative strand. Negative sense viral RNA is complementary to mRNA and thus must be converted to positive sense RNA by an RNA polymerase before the translation procedure. And the last group is single-stranded RNA virus associated with the enzyme reverse transcriptase. And this chart once again represents few examples of the DNA viruses and RNA viruses that we have already discussed before. The DNA viruses, double-stranded, and the enveloped example is Hepatnavirus, herpes virus, pox viruses, and the unenveloped ones are adenoviruses, papillomavirus, polyoma viruses, and the DNA viruses single-stranded enveloped example are the parvovirus. RNA viruses with positive RNA, unenveloped ones are the caliciviruses, picomaviruses, and the enveloped ones are the coronaviruses, flaviviruses, and tugaviruses. And negative sense RNA, the enveloped ones are arenaviruses, guineaviruses, filoviruses, orthomyxoviruses, paramyxoviruses, rhabdoviruses. And the double-stranded RNA virus example is the reoviruses. And the single-stranded RNA viruses with enzyme reverse transcriptase, the example is retroviruses. Viruses can reproduce only when they enter cells and utilize the cellular machinery of their host. Viruses code their genes on a single type of nucleic acid, either DNA or RNA. But viruses lack ribosomes and the enzymes necessary for protein synthesis. Viruses are able to reproduce because their genes are translated into proteins by the cell's genetic machinery. These proteins lead to the production of more viruses. The major steps in viral multiplication includes adsorption, penetration, uncoating, synthesis, assembly, and release. In the adsorption or attachment, the virus encounters the susceptible host cells, adsorbs specifically to receptor sites on the cell membrane. Because of the exact fit required, viruses have a limited host range. The next step is the penetration. Here, the cell membrane of the host is penetrated by the whole virus or its nucleic acid alone. Endocytosis takes place, that is, the entire virus engulfed by the cell and enclosed in a vacuole or vesicle. The viral envelope can also directly fuse with the host cell membrane. Next step is the uncoating of the virus. Here the enzymes in the vacuole dissolve the envelope and capsid. Next step is the synthesis. Free viral nucleic acid exerts control over the host synthetic machinery. The DNA viruses enter host cell's nucleus where they are replicated and assembled. DNA enters the nucleus and is transcribed into RNA. Whereas in the case of RNA, the RNA becomes a message for synthesizing viral proteins. New DNA is synthesized using host nucleotides, and the RNA viruses get replicated and assembled in the cytoplasm. Next step is the assembling. Here, mature virus particles are constructed from the growing pool of parts. And the final step in the viral multiplication is the release. Here, non-enveloped and complex viruses are released when the cell lyses or it ruptures. Enveloped viruses are liberated by budding or exocytosis. Almost 3000 to 1 lakh virions may be released depending on the virus, and the entire length of the cycle depends, and it ranges between 8 to 36 hours. Now let's see what are bacteriophages. They are the virus that infects and replicates within a bacterium. They can be single or double-stranded and they are surrounded by protein capsid. Genomes may encode as few as 4 genes and as many as hundreds of genes. It replicates after injection of their genome. Bacteriophages was discovered independently by Frederick W. Tour in Great Britain and Felix de Herelle in France. De Herelle coined the term bacteriophage, meaning bacteria eater. It also infects archaea. Phages occur widely in nature in close association with bacteria. It can be readily isolated from fecals and sewage and other sources of mixed bacterial growth. They provide the only convenient model for study of virus-host interaction at cellular and molecular level. They play an important role in transduction. Phage genome along with the bacterial chromosome result in phage conversion. This is the typical structure of a bacteriophage that consists of a head and tail. Bacteriophages are usually tadpole shaped with a hexagonal head and cylindrical tail. The head consists of nucleic acid, that is double-stranded DNA, surrounded by protein coat or capsid. It is around 28 to 100 nanometer in size. And the tail consists of a hollow core surrounded by contractile sheath and terminal base plate. And the T-even phages, that is T2, T4 and T6, are the bacteriophages that infect the bacterium E. coli. Bacteriophages are simply known as phage. It's a virus that attacks and infects bacteria. The infection may or may not lead to the death of the bacterium, depending on the phage and sometimes on the conditions. Each bacteriophage is specific to one form of bacteria. Here you can see a phage entering the bacterial cell, and there are phage receptors into which the phages get attached. The DNA will land and they will start at pinning, and then the tail construction and penetration take place. Finally, the DNA will be getting injected into the host. The life cycles of bacteriophages are broadly categorized into two: the virulent or the lytic cycle, in which the intracellular multiplication of phage takes place. Here, the lysis of host bacterium happens and there is release of the progenies or the daughter cells. And in the temperate or lysogenic cycle, the phage DNA is integrated into the bacterial genome. It will replicate synchronously there, but it is not causing any harm to the host cell, and there is no lysis of the host cell. The lytic cycle consists of the same steps as we discussed earlier in the case of viral multiplication, that is adsorption, penetration, synthesis, assembly, maturation and release. The phage particles come into contact with the bacterial cells by random collusion. The phage nucleic acid penetrates into the bacterial cell just like the injection through syringe, and penetration is facilitated by lysozyme producing hole in bacterial cell wall. After penetration, the empty head and tail of phage looks like shell or ghost on bacterial cell. Next is the synthesis of the phage components. Early proteins, that is the enzyme necessary for building complex molecules, and the late proteins including protein subunits of phage head and tail, and the synthesis of bacterial protein, DNA and RNA will be halted. The final step in the lytic cycle is the assembly, maturation and the release. The phage DNA, head protein and tail protein are synthesized separately. DNA condensed and packaged into head. Finally, the tail structures are added. This assembly of phage components into mature infective phage particle is known as maturation. Bacterial cell wall weakens and assumes spherical shape. The phage enzymes cause bacterial cell wall to burst or lyse, and the daughter phages are then released. And the other kind of cycle is the lysogenic cycle. Here the temperate phages enter into symbiotic relationship with the host cells. The nucleic acid integration with bacterial chromosome is termed as prophage. The prophage behaves like segment of chromosome and will replicate synchronously with it, and then it is termed as lysogeny, and the bacterium hence is termed as lysogenic bacterium. Lysogenic conversion or phage conversion refers when prophage confers new properties onto the host bacterium. For example, toxin production by diphtheria bacillus is due to the prophage beta. In this image, you can see the lytic cycle and the lysogenic cycle. If the bacteriophage is getting attached, penetrated, and once the integration of the nucleic acid take place, in the lytic cycle, the host bacterium or the host cell is being lysed or burst out, releasing the progenies. Whereas in the lysogenic cycle, you can see the integration of the phages into the host genome, and there is no lysis of the host cell. This is another example. The lytic cycle of lambda bacteriophage can be seen here. The bacteriophage attached to the host bacterial cell and injects its DNA into it. The phage DNA replicates and the phage heads and tails appear in the cytoplasm. Later, cell lysis occurs and it releases the next generation of mature phages. The lysogenic infections or the temperate infection rarely result in lysis of the bacterial host cell. Lysogenic viruses such as lambda, which infects E. coli, have a different strategy than lytic viruses for their replication. After penetration, the viral DNA integrates into the bacterial chromosome and it becomes replicated every time the cell duplicates its chromosomal DNA during normal cell division. Temperate viruses usually do not kill the host bacterial cells they infect. Their chromosome becomes integrated into a specific section of the host cell chromosome. Such phage DNA is called prophage, and the host bacterium are said to be lysogenized. In the prophage state, all the phage genes except one are repressed. None of the usual early proteins or structural proteins are formed. The phage gene that is expressed is an important one because it codes for the synthesis of a repressor molecule that prevents the synthesis of phage enzymes and proteins required for the lytic cycle. If the synthesis of the repressor molecule stops or if the repressor becomes inactivated, an enzyme encoded by the prophage is synthesized, which excises the viral DNA from the bacterial chromosome. This excised DNA can now behave like a lytic virus, that is, to produce new viral particles and eventually lyse the host cell. And this spontaneous de-repression is a rare event occurring about 1 in 10,000 divisions of a lysogenic bacterium, but it assures that new phage are formed which can proceed to infect other cells.